dip in your hip and glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified Good evening and welcome to another wonderful edition of the Otter's Den with your host, Keith, that's me, and Joni.
What's going on?
She's over there. She's over there. I'm over here and she's over there.
I'm just going through a massive stack of papers.
Oh, your notes?
Yeah.
You know how many notes I got?
0.
This many.
That's all right. What's going on? Did you have a good Christmas?
I did. I got to go to my sister's and see my family, and we played some games and got some laughs, and it was a good day.
Good. You know, I'm always relieved though when it's done.
Yes.
It's always kind of like,
yes.
Okay, now I can breathe. Now I can breathe. You know, I don't know. I just think that sometimes you need that little bit of quiet time during the holidays.
Yeah. Hey, Peggy. Hey, Jolene.
Happy New Year coming up, too.
Yes.
Happy new moon. Tonight's the new moon.
Tonight is a black moon. It is the second new moon in a month.
Yes. This is a big one. You know, whenever you have a new moon in Capricorn, which we're in Capricorn season, you know, that is ruled by Saturn.
Yes.
Saturn likes hard work. So if you know, as you know, new moon, you manifest things. But then Saturn is going to say, okay, Keith, how are you going to accomplish that? Okay, let's just say you want a car. Let's say I'm going to manifest a Corvette. Maybe not a Corvette, but a Tesla. One of the really cute little Teslas or something. Saturn wants you to say, now, if you don't come up with a plan and show me and the steps, how you're going to achieve this goal. But that's true with any manifestation.
Yes.
But with Saturn, it's very strict and it's hard work. And it's like, well, Saturn, I'm going to put away $200 a paycheck until I can, whatever. I'm going to budget my money. I'm going to pay down my credit cards or whatever. You know what I mean?
I do.
But you got to write out with your manifestation a plan on how you get there. Because, manifestations just sit there.
You're right.
If you don't have a plan and you don't show the universe how you're going to go about getting what you want, it sits there. That's why a lot of people get frustrated, I think, and they're like, I never, I manifest stuff and then I figure it out and I write it on a piece of paper and I get out a crystal and I do all this stuff. Well, did you plan it out?
Mm-hmm.
You got to put in the work.
I have a perfect example.
Okay.
In fact, I am the perfect example.
Okay.
Even though I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect. I didn't mean like that. My house, when I had my house fire.
Okay.
After I talked to the only guy that would even come give me a bid on it, he told me it was going to be $306,000 to start.
Oh,
and I wasn't getting that much from the insurance company. So if I was going to save my house, I was going to have to save my house. Did I know how to do it? Absolutely not. Did I have a little background in electrical, a little background in plumbing, a little background in some woodworking from high school? Yes.
Right.
Okay. Those are stepping stones. I can grow those. I can do some homework. I can do some studying. I can take notes as I tear it down on how it was constructed. I can take pictures.
You planned it.
I planned it.
Right.
I drew it out. I measured everything. I planned it.
You planned it. You worked hard.
If it sits, if it fits, it sits. Here I sit.
And now you've got appliances. You have a bed. You have heat. You have air conditioning.
And I got a dog and a cat, and I had to make plans to get those too.
Right. So that's a little lesson on if you're going to put something up to the heavens to Saturn energy, which is Capricorn.
Yeah.
You better have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, like I said, if you say, I'm going to manifest this and I'm going to burn incense, you just get a smoky crystal. You have to plan out, okay, universe, send me a date for New Year's Eve. Okay, I'm going to manifest that for New Year's Eve. Okay. Are you going to sit in the house and expect Prince Charming to show up at your front door? No.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Hi, Michelle. Hi, Miss Michelle. So
you.
That's a big, huge manifestation with especially with Saturn and Capricorn. Saturn loves hard work.
Yes.
And if you do that, you will triple your blessings on the manifestation because that's what Saturn energy is all about. Hard work, staying on course. I'm going to write a book. I want to write a best-selling novel. Okay, how are you? I'm going to put aside 2 hours a night to write, which I hate to write. I'm not a writer, but if I were going to write a novel, you have to plan out. Well, I'm going to write 2 hours, and then when I get it done, I'm going to send it out to publishers.
Right here on my wall, you can't see it, but I'm pointing to it. There's a piece of paper this big, in big black letters. It says book.
This is the perfect new moon to do it.
Under that is screenplay. Under that is movie. I made a vision board out of my wall.
Yes. But this is a great new moon.
Yes.
This is a great new moon to do that because of the Capricorn energy of hard work and sticking to it, and Saturn energy being your friend.
Yes. And I'm going to throw in a shameless plug real quick for somebody in the feed. If you're having issues in your life and need help with that, the perfect person is here. I just put her link in the comments down over here, Moksha Grace Coaching.
Michelle Barone's business.
Oh,
She is a
absolutely.
personal friend of mine. She has
Oh,
coached me a bit, and she is an amazing person. So if you'd like a little advice and help through life,
yeah.
yeah, go click
She's
the link I put in here, right there. See that one? Yeah,
there. You
you
go.
in the comments.
Life coaching, everything, everything. Better than a
Yes.
therapist. I think. Well, I shouldn't say that, but
Yes.
yeah, I think life coaching is just necessary. I'm going to tell you what, in
I'm
2025,
doing something.
just looking at the astrology, keep Michelle's website handy because it's going to be one of those years that what it's going to be. I hate fear, and I don't like fear because everything looks very positive on paper. But we are seeing things that some astrologers that I follow, that I love, are going back to like 6000 BC and can't find what's going to occur. So, in other words, it's great to know the history of transits, but if we're getting hit with stuff that we can't even find it on cave walls, this is new territory.
This is new. We don't have a record of this.
We don't have a
But
record of a lot of it.
What is going to be happening up there this year, there is no
Oh.
record of. So we don't know. We can guesstimate.
It doesn't stop. The thing about it is, it's not stopping. I like coaching. I think coaching is, I like coaching personally. I think it's great. It's phenomenal. And she's phenomenal.
She is an amazing person.
She's just, her energy is just amazing to be around.
I am so glad I got to meet her.
I thought she was Krista's sister.
Mama.
She's Krista's mom.
Mama.
I said, okay. So we were in the Zoom class. I said, we're stopping the class. So we're in the astrology class. And I said, we're stopping the class. Michelle, what is your secret? How come you look so phenomenal?
What'd she say?
Well, I just started kind of thinking I should take care of my skin now. And I'm like, what? Dude, we did. I stopped the class and I go, everybody, because we were all like, what? It was funny.
You know what I got to do? I actually I've been at her house. I won't say why, but she has like a farm. She's got chickens.
It's a compound.
And turtles. And I got to Riki the goats and Riki the turtles. and the bird and the dog. And I was a happy camper.
Oh, well, she's a doll. She's just a doll baby. Krista is too. I was like, wait, I thought you and Krista were sisters. I swear. Ask her. She'll tell you the truth. She might not tell you because I hope I'm not embarrassing her.
Yes.
But it's so funny. But get ready, Michelle, for 2025. Come into the group Saturday because we'll probably be talking about it some more.
Remind me.
I will. But you know what's funny about 2025 is when you see somebody like Rick Levin, who I adore, and I follow Merlin, and I love his astrology. He's a very spiritual astrologist. There are astrologers that are mechanical astrologers that are, okay, Venus is in Pisces and this is how it is and it's at this degree and it's the mechanical. And then there are spiritual astrologers. And Rick Levin is one of those. And he's just by far the wisest that I know of.
I should check him out.
Oh, you would love him. Rick is even kind of going, Rick is even going, he's kind of I'm just kind of like, and I tried to talk about it on Carrie's show Friday night, and I'm almost getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that's weird for me because
Well, all of the outer planets are shifting signs.
correct.
All of them.
All of
Every
them
one of them this year.
in 2025.
Not to mention our regular retrogrades.
Mars and Venus.
It's I mean, the hair's standing up on my arms right now just thinking about it. I actually think I'm not looking at this as a fear base. I am looking at this as an opportunity for wonderful change to happen.
Well,
And you know me, I'm a Scorpio.
You don't
I
like
don't like
change.
change, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think that's going to be the biggest thing is to be in the present moment. Be in the moment. I think you have to be very present in 2025.
Yes.
You have to be present, but yet vibrating high enough that you're not down with the bottom feeders, because there's going to be a lot of bottom feeding issues going on.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It does. You're not sitting here dwelling in the past over
No.
something that happened 20 years ago and still being depressed about it.
No,
Okay? That's dwelling, staying in the past.
no.
It's depression. You're not sitting here with full of anxiety, worrying about what's going to happen at work tomorrow or next year. Okay.
No.
You're living in this now moment right now. Right now,
Yes.
I am here speaking with you all. Don't give a shit about my past. Don't give a shit about my future. I am here with you right now.
Right. And
This is
you know,
my now moment.
you have to do that all year because of the fact when even I'll give you an example. In 2024, Pluto switched from Capricorn, which you all know it was in Capricorn, went into Aquarius, went back retro. Just one planet shifting, one outer shifting caused uproars.
Mm-hmm.
One.
And it can
One.
cause
One.
weather patterns to change.
Look at Uranus right now. Look at the weather right now.
Yeah. The tornadoes we just had.
I know. And look at the earthquakes, volcanoes. And because it was so funny, because I thought last weekend, I thought Uranus has been awful quiet. I'm going to look at him. And I thought, oh, crap, he's getting ready to square Venus. Here we go.
And if you
Three airplane wrecks.
If you think about it, and I have thought about it, we've got the multiple timelines coming back into one. Healing.
Yep.
There's a lot of energy out there. If, in my opinion, from what I've studied and listened to from other people, if we wouldn't have been able to correct that timeline, if the universe would not have been able to correct that timeline, we are at the time in the cycles, the 25,920 year cycles of extinction level events, the pole shifting, meteor, comet hitting.
Yes.
Thing.
Well, leaving Pisces.
We have changed that. That's where we were heading.
Yep.
Well, we sidestepped that. We are now in a timeline of peace and prosperity coming. However, that energy has to be let out somehow. It's like taking one of those things that fizzes and putting it in a bottle of Coke.
Who's talking about peace and prosperity? When?
I, for one.
Oh, I mean, when? When are they saying that's going to happen?
This year sometime. It's starting. We're in the beginning. We're at the start. Change is happening. And it's going to be a good kind of change. It's going to take a little while.
It's going to knock us on our asses.
But I'm trying to look at it in a positive way. I'm not going to.
It's very positive. The outcome's going to be positive, but
yes,
I think you have to be very aware of shakeups.
Yeah. You need to pay
because
attention to what's happening. Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention
I
to the
mean,
weather. Watch the weather. Keep an eye on it. Get supplies put away in case you need them. Winter time is coming up. This weekend, well, I guess it's not this weekend. I got tomorrow and the next day off for New Year's. But I'm going to get my generator out. I'm going to get new fuel in it. I'm going to get some fuel in my fuel cans. Make a grocery list if I need to go get food. Put some extra food back. It's just that's something you should do all the time.
right.
Rotate your food out, but you have a month or two, on hand in case the electricity goes out, in case something happens. Have a crank weather radio. You crank it to charge it, and you can listen to the radio to get news on the weather.
I will say this in July, when we've got every outer planet is moving. Outer planets rule the collective and what happens and events, and more so than the personal planets. Personal planets are like Venus and Mars and Mercury.
Yeah.
Those are what rule us in our personal lives. The outer planets are the collective. They're governments. They are it's history. Actually, what I think it's more of historical shakeups we're going to see worldwide. But the fact of the matter is, I think, like, for example, when Uranus goes into Gemini, we have to look at what Uranus does. It's electricity. Gemini is electricity. Moving into Gemini, what does Gemini control? Communications. It controls how we communicate. So what does that mean in July? Back up all your computer stuff.
Yes, keep backups. Communications go down. We're going to be on the walkie-talkies and CB radios again.
Well, I hate to say this, but I checked into a Starlink Mini for my house because I thought I haven't, I usually don't prep. I'm not a prepper person. I go out to the grocery the day before. I don't have extra food. I don't have a generator. I'm not a prepper type person. Well, I don't do crap.
You don't necessarily have to be a cool prepper, but
I mean, if something happens, I'll go down to the farm.
Hey, Lois.
But I mean, I think when you've got outer planets moving into the energy that we're going to be feeling, know what that Uranus is lightning. It's air travel. It's space. It's electricity. It's trains. It's the grid. It's cryptocurrency. And it goes into Gemini. So it's going to take on Gemini characteristics of communication, mind.
Keep some cash or some gold or silver.
Absolutely. Now, this is July. I mean, so it's little common sense things because they will shake up. Jupiter is going to be moving into Cancer. What is Jupiter? Jupiter expands things. It's blessings. So what's that mean? Well, then for a year, as soon as Jupiter hits Cancer, what is Cancer? It's the female. You're going to see a lot of females stepping up, a lot of nurturing, the family, the home, ancestors. That all goes into focus in June. So you got to look at stuff like that. We've got really weird things. And then when they do all move, we have Saturn, which is karma. Saturn keeps us in track. It's lessons. Neptune is our clairvoyance. It's our dreams. That they are moving out of water signs. Victim, victim, victim. And they're moving into what? Aries, the warrior. Aries is going to say, I'm not talking to a victim. I'm going to stand up and you're going to get out there and you're going to do it. So we are moving from water and victim mentality, 13 years, 3 years, and we're moving into a new cycle into Aries, which is impulsive. It's fire. It's starting. It's new beginnings.
Practice the pause. Watch your words.
Saturn will help with that in Aries because Saturn will move down. But then what happens is when we have Saturn and Neptune moving down, they will be what we call conjunct. We've got what's called a great conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. They're going to be stuck together for the year. I know.
Whole year.
I mean, well, we retro back and forth, but so that, what is that energy? That's restriction. That's Neptune gets rid of boundaries. That's a lot of things. It could be a lockdown. It's not going to happen.
Will not put up with it.
It can't happen. You know why it can't happen? We had Pluto in 2020. Pluto was in Capricorn. Pluto has moved over into Aquarius. The 30-year cycle. What is that? Yeah. Pluto is in Aquarius is freedom to the people. Freedom to the people. It's rebellion. If they think for 1 minute that nobody will listen.
That's a positive change right there. Look at what
we've
been 4 years, and now we've got freedom coming. We're going to have freedom of speech again. We're going to have freedom to go where we want to again. Some people aren't going to like that change. We're going to have to get used to allowing. I'm going to use that word, allowing. I'm telling myself, allowing things to change. Right. Because if we don't let things change, things aren't going to get better.
That's right.
We don't want them getting worse. We want them getting better.
Better.
And if I'm looking at this as, okay, when you go on vacation, you pack a bag and you go somewhere new, and you go upstairs and you put your suitcase on the bed and you unpack it.
Right.
And then you get comfy where you are. Well, these planets are moving into new signs at new degrees.
That's right.
So they're going to need a little while to get used to where they are in order for things to level out and get comfy. So if shit hits the fan personally for you,
ride it out.
Back and just breathe. Okay, this is happening to me. Look at why. Look at why. Don't ask why it's happening. Or don't words, brain's not braining. Hang on.
You're right.
Don't ask why is this happening to me. Ask what is this teaching me?
That's right.
What is this helping me change about myself so I can better myself or my situation?
I'm glad we see it coming. I'm glad we know this is coming.
Yeah, because if the planet's trying to help you, even if it doesn't seem like it, I've had those days. If you fight it, you're gonna get your ass kicked. Just saying.
Well, and this is what 2025 is a little squirrely, is when they finally do move, and they will move, that we get to about July is the last one, that's Uranus. Then, because we're in a situation where they're moving, they all go into retrograde and go back to where they are now. So it's a shift and a shift. It's a lot of shifting. So yes. I think if you are just flexible and patient and just roll with things, and look in your chart. Look in your chart and look where these planets are moving to, and that will tell you where the energy is going to be flowing in your life.
And what house is it in?
In what house?
That'll tell you what aspect of your life is going to be adjusting.
That's right. So at least you'll have a little insight there.
I have. You asked me a question a little bit ago. Who's looking at all of this positively? I am. Why? Because I have been through about everything you can imagine, every type of loss you can imagine, and I'm still here. I'm still sitting here. I'm in a good mood.
Sure.
I'm a happy camper. Whatever the planets have in store for me, I got this. I will get through it. I will figure it out. Anytime anything happens to me, I'll take the initial hit. My vibration may drop a little bit, but then I said, think about it. Look at everything you've already been through and done. You will figure it out. And I do eventually. I figure out how to get through it and how to move through it and what I need to do to get through it. Take, for instance, this weekend, Friday, I got a text message. My bank card. I made a donation on GoFundMe to somebody that needed some help. And my bank immediately sent me a text message. Hey, here's this charge. Did you do it? Yes, I did. They didn't get the communication of yes, I did. That text didn't go through. So my bank card was shut off all weekend. Well, I've been putting away a little bit of cash here and there. So I got through the weekend. You know, I watched my spending and I got through it. And then I made a phone call this morning and I got it corrected.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I'd have freaked out. I'd have got pissed off. It's like, all right, Monday I got to make a phone call. That's changed.
I always get happy when they shut it off because then I know that they're watching it and that somebody's not scamming, that they can't get any money out of me. So I'm always thrilled when I know if there's money in there and they shut it down, they've shut it down for a reason. It's usually because somebody's trying to hack your account.
Right. And coming from somebody who's had that happen and lost a great amount of
you can
funds,
see. Yeah.
It didn't piss me off.
It never makes me mad.
They're trying to protect me. It's okay.
Right.
I've got to make a phone call on Monday. You know, and again, that's where having a little bit put away can be a big benefit.
But Shaquille O'Neal said that when he got traded or moved or something. It was a funny story. He said, they shut off my American Express at Walmart. I walked in there and they said $75,000 at Walmart and put my card in, and American Express said they shut it. They wouldn't put it through. And he said, they called me and said, somebody's at Walmart trying to spend 75 grand. He goes, I know, I'm standing here. It's me. So even Shaquille O'Neal gets his Amex shut off. I think it's funny. We've got, now this is really interesting. In June, we have, this happens every 500 years. So we're not looking at stuff that happens every 10 years, 3 years, 4 years. We're looking at 500 years. We're like 25,000 years if we think, like I think we're headed into the age of Aquarius. And what a heck of it. I mean, I think when you wake up and say, this is a great time to be alive because I'm witnessing this.
Yes. And we are helping with it. We help to raise the vibration of ourselves. We help to raise the vibration of other people, other situations, which help raise the vibration of the earth.
Right.
The vibration of the universe, which helped in repairing the timelines.
That's right.
We got to do that. We came back in this time to do this, and we're doing it.
All you have to do is watch the Schumann and watch how high the vibrations are going, and you know people are vibing, and they're on it. They're on it. People know what's going on.
If you don't know what the Schumann is, it's the frequency of the earth. Normally it's like around 7 hertz, 7 megahertz, whatever it is. I can't remember. But I mean, it's been spiking up 30s, 40s, some days 100. It's spiking, and now we're getting, since the timeline started changing, they're getting black spikes in there too. it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's evidence that the timelines are correcting themselves.
And we're, thank God that we're getting those storms hitting us, the solar storms hitting us, because that only helps us too.
Yes, the solar flash.
We got another one coming. Another G3's headed here.
Yeah, 2025 is the solar maximum.
That's right.
There's a solar minimum where the sun doesn't do much, and then it has a solar maximum where it is at its maximum activity.
At its peak.
This is through 2025.
That's
so
right.
we are going to have large solar flares. They can affect communications, electronics. One back in the 1800s, I mean, it fried all the telegraph lines. It fried them.
See, that's why I'm going to look into a little mini Starlink.
Yes.
I think that'd be a smart thing to have. But I don't know. You have to put it up on your roof or something. I think. But I don't know if you have to put the mini up there or not. I'm wondering if I could just put it out in my little garden.
I got a roof. I'm good.
I mean,
got a ladder.
the little mini. It's the mini Starlink.
Yeah.
It's your cable. It's everything. It's your internet. It's everything. So I'm going to check it out.
Well, and when the hurricane hit, Musk, he sent those many Starlinks down there so they could communicate. The first responders, the cops,
everybody,
EMS, the fire departments. Him and Trump went down there personally and were handing these things out.
His daughter took him on the plane.
Yes.
His daughter, Trump's daughter, took him personally.
That makes me happy.
But it's not so much that not only do we have, it's not so much as the planet shifting, because we can handle that. That's easy because we know what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
We know what they're going to do. Like Uranus, a week out, and I told you, I'm like, oh crap, here we go. If you're in an earthquake area, put your alerts on. Here comes some weird weather. All you got to do is watch it and take cover. If you're in, and I say the weather's going to get weird, and you don't have tornadoes in December, you're going to have them. And if they're predicting bad, watch the weather when Uranus is active. It's easy.
Yeah.
And so what we're having in June in 2025, and this is going to dissolve in 2030. We got this for 5 years. We have, and it's called a mini grand trine.
Smile.
So grand trine is the triangle, and they're good. They're favorable. We have what's called a mini or a magic triangle. Magic triangle, mini grand trine, and it's between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Oh, fun.
Fun. Neptune is what we call the apex. That's the main thing. So this is like, if you're talking about, if the astrology is saying a huge spiritual awakening, this is it. From 2025 to 2030.
And Neptune likes to blur the lines. Are you sure you're really seeing what you think you're seeing?
Illusion, delusion.
So, watch the media.
Media's going to be gone. Pluto's destroying it. It's gone. It's done.
Until they are all the way out and it gets back to investigative reporting like it should be. Just pay attention. Don't trust everything you see and hear. Do your own homework.
I'll give you a date. January 20th, we've got what's called it's called a Kazemi, and it's the heart of the sun, or the sun is kissing a planet. On January 20th, we have a Kazemi on the USA chart of the sun and Pluto in the third house. That's the media. Something. I don't know what. Something is going to be coming out. Pluto is stuff we don't want to see. Pluto is stuff that is the underworld. We don't want to see it.
You hide from it.
So the sun will, something is going to happen about the 18th, 19th, 20th media.
See it and accept it.
Well, Pluto's in there, so Pluto's already rocking it down. I mean, it's done. It's done. Um, that's a really positive transit.
Yeah.
I love those.
I like positive transits.
We've got Neptune on the North Node right now. In America, we're on the Chiron, in the Chiron return in America. Unbelievable transits going on in America.
The wounded healer.
Dang. I mean, and that's the children. It's in the 5th house of the children.
Well, and what are they going to start looking for on day one? The 385,000 missing children.
Honey, it's 500,000.
Is it now?
It is up to
I said last year it's going to go up.
The mayor of New York City said the last count, it was 320,000. The mayor of New York City said 500,000. DNA testing was stopped at the border in 2020.
By who? Yeah, the ones that are going out.
Now, why in the world would you stop a young child to be DNA tested with an adult to make sure that that child belongs with that adult? Give me one good reason. I would have asked that if I were a reporter this year.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you stop DNA testing at the border?
Very simple. To play along with their agenda. And I'm not going to get into the whole...
I'm not either, but the facts are there.
They are.
So we've got
Truth
that
commands.
Chiron in Aries in the United States. That's the children, 5th house, children.
Yeah. We got a quick question in here for you.
Oh,
is there an angel or archangel or seraphim that helps us with astrology in particular?
Well, that depends. Yes, Cindy. For example, they are more associated with fixed stars. For example, Archangel Michael is with Algol, and I'd have to look up the rest of them of who is with who. They're with fixed stars mainly. So yes, they're in there. They're at every corner. They're at every. We'll see, and we have angular houses in astrology. 1, 4, 7, 10. So you've got like up. Algol would be down. Algol is with Archangel Michael. I'd have to look him up, but yes, to answer that question, yes. You can look them up too. What fixed star is associated with what archangel? Spica, I'm not sure about Spica. And then there's Aldebaran, there's Algol.
It's there. You just got to look for it.
What? Yeah, it's there.
What you're talking about?
We've got 3 coming in at us tomorrow. A sun one, solar flare coming in tomorrow. I'm always sharing that. I watch that daily. Yes, I do too. I do too, Cindy. I said, Michael, where are you? Where are you? I do too, Cindy. But but this little triangle is very magical. This is the first time. See, we're going to have Pluto is in sextile to Neptune, and Uranus is in sextile to Neptune. So they're in beautiful aspect. So that's why people are saying, well, this is very positive. But it's been 500 years ago. We're going to have to, this is a year where it's month by month, you have to really dive into rabbit holes. And I usually don't. I just look at them very quickly. But this year, it's crazy. But I think it's a good crazy.
I just did a quick Google search. What happened 500 years ago?
Oh, okay.
The most significant event was the fall of the Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital, to Herman Cortez and his Spanish forces. The people trying to control. And that's something we've changed in this timeline is we're kicking the people out that we're trying to control. So it is a flip of the energies.
Yes, it is flipping. And if you are watching mundane astrology, and I love mundane astrology is the study of events. It's the history of countries and it's the study of event astrology.
Yeah.
When Pluto moved into Aquarius, and that was in November of 24. If you look around right now, we've got South Korea. It's all happening to Western countries. South Korea boots their president out. He's gone. We've got what happened in Syria. Germany, their economy is about gone.
The prosecutor who was in charge of the January 6th trials is resigning.
Yeah.
That.
The UK is a mess. And now we've got uproar in Canada. All the Western countries are uproaring.
Hang on a second.
It's just a bot.
Add to block list. And it's gone.
So we're just going to have to take it month by month.
Week by week, day by day, if we have to.
Just like we did in 2020.
Yeah.
Because that Saturn, Neptune together. Neptune is diseases. It's infections. It's infectious diseases.
We have experience.
Saturn is restrictions. That could be that. And it's coming soon. So that could be an attempt at a LD. And the thing's coming back.
They did some studies on those jabs with kids. And they found out that, I don't remember the exact numbers, but a certain large percentage of the children that got that started to develop heart problems and other issues, where kids that did not get none of them
Right.
did.
That report just came out.
About what you're putting into your bodies. You want to do your homework on what's in it.
That's right.
What are the side effects? And that goes with any medication, foods that you're eating. Kennedy right now is a big push on eliminating chemicals and dyes out of our foods. They do it overseas. Those chemicals are banned, but yet they sell them here. Kellogg sells Fruit Loops here full of chemical dyes, but they use plants, turnips, carrots, in order to dye the foods over there. They've already got the formula. All they got to do is switch it here. It's very feasible, very easy to do.
They can do it. Here's the thing.
Health.
In this country, if you are a diabetic, you find out you're diabetic, you have to eat organic. You have to eat clean. That's number one. You have to eat clean.
Yeah.
But the minute you're labeled diabetic, the phenomenal amount of money that is spent on medicines, medical supplies, glucose monitors, everything.
It's profit.
Is outrageous. I mean, it's outrageous.
There are some medications being sold at a 15,000% gross profit margin, and that's on the small end.
What am I? Okay,
most
my shots are $2,000 a prescription.
Mm-hmm. Most businesses work on a 25 to 30% gross profit margin. That allows them to pay their overhead, pay their insurance, pay their employees, and still make a living. 15,000% on the small end, pharmaceuticals. And I didn't see a message from you. I've been scrolling up and down, and I did not see a message from you. Would you like to restate your message?
Yep. Well, I will say this about pharma. A friend of mine had to go on blood thinners. He had a blood clot.
That.
And I told him, I said, look, when I found out I was diabetic, everything is very expensive. Do you know the only place that would help me are the big pharma companies? They give you medicines, they
Some of
give
them
you
do.
supplies, and they give you coupons. And he's like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no, I had to experience it myself. And I had to call them and contact
You have to know who to go
pharmaceutical
to.
companies.
Yes.
Because you get to a point where insurance is saying no, your doctor can't give you so many supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend was given a year's supply of samples from the pharmaceutical company.
Yep.
It was $800 a month. He couldn't afford it. So now he's got a year's supply
Yeah.
of blood thinners provided by evil big pharma.
If
So
you
somebody, the lobbyists or somebody, and I'm not saying they don't make money because they make billions,
mm-hmm.
but I'm telling you now, there's got to be kickbacks going into other pockets because
they're giving doctors,
well,
in my opinion, they're giving
people, the lobbyists are giving Congress that too.
Yeah.
So I've had that experience. I mean, I've had it myself, and
my ex-wife Shannon,
yeah.
she was good at finding companies that would do that would help.
Yeah.
They wouldn't always, but sometimes they would.
Yeah.
But you have to ask.
You have to know.
You got to get a plan and put the work in.
You have to put the work in, and you have to know. And again, if you need it and you're in a pinch, you find a way.
Yeah.
And there's at least 3 pharmaceutical companies, and they're big ones, that really helped me. And they just helped my friend. He just got them for a year.
That's nice. That is nice.
$800 a month because his insurance wouldn't cover it.
Yeah.
So his doctor said, okay. So he called the pharmaceutical company. He said, are you kidding me? I thought they were so evil. I said, yeah, so did I. And look what happened. He got him for free for a year.
That's amazing.
I know.
That's amazing.
So
I'm happy about that. But all in all, big pharma, big oil, big tech, they control the lobbyists. The lobbyists pay our lawmakers.
That's right.
And it's
a cycle.
It shouldn't be that way. It is a cycle. And hopefully that's going to be ending.
They need to do away with lobbyists, period.
Yes.
No lobbying allowed, period, gone.
Yes.
Start from, but
if you think about it, a lot of medicines came from plants originally.
Yep.
And then the big pharma found ways to synthesize those into chemicals that imitate the same thing, but cause a lot of side effects to make profit. There is a big push right now to go back to natural holistic healing methods.
I'm all for it.
Watching your diet, going back to plant-based medicines. There's a ton of information you can find out there on it. But one of the biggest thing is
diet. It's all diet.
You put into your body.
All diet.
Is poison. Our food is not food.
No, it's not.
It is not food.
No.
Go to the grocery store. Go to the hamburger aisle. Look at your regular hamburger, and then find a pack, like a 1 pound pack of grass-raised ground beef.
Right.
Look at the difference in how it looks, the texture, and the nutrient difference is huge. It's
grass-fed. I know.
I'm a po' boy, but I will pay $7 for that pound of grass-fed ground beef over paying $5 a pound for the crap that gets all jumbled together.
Or even get a cow. Get an eighth of a cow. Get a freezer.
From your local farmers. Farmers market.
We have farmers all over.
Yes. Eat healthily. Yeah, we switched from functional medicine. They look for why you need something and ask for meds only made in the U.S. We have to take something. They're treating the symptoms, but not trying to cure the disease.
Yeah.
If I follow a guy out of Omaha, it's called the F8 Wellness Center. This dude is amazing on his knowledge. And I follow another guy, and I can't remember his name, but he's also a doctor. Most of these doctors aren't even doing the correct tests for thyroid issues.
Well, you have to have a good doctor, period, end of it. You have to have a good support system with a doctor. And, I mean, yeah, because when I found out I was diabetic, first thing my doctor said is, okay, you have to meet with the nutritionist. Then you got to meet with the pharmacist, and then you're going to meet with the nurse. So I have a nurse, a nutritionist, and a pharmacist. So it's all depending on your doctor too.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to be proactive with your care.
Yes. But the thing is, with the insurance companies, a lot of times they dictate what doctor you see, what tests you get. And that's not right. If
a lot of them do.
You need this test, then the insurance company should pay for that test.
That's right.
But they can decline it.
See, a couple things I was, but then we get around it. Mm-hmm. Have a doctor that can get around it. I mean, there's ways.
Yeah.
But,
code it different. So all they got to code it different.
We are going to see, especially with Uranus's breakthroughs, so many medical breakthroughs coming, especially Pluto and Aquarius, Uranus and Gemini, astounding breakthroughs, Neptune in Aries. It's all coming.
The health tech is coming. Med beds. It's coming.
Maybe that's the whole 2025 thing with Neptune, because Neptune is disease. Uranus is the technology. Pluto is the transformation. That could be 2025 to 2030.
Healing the disease.
That's right.
Getting rid of it.
That's right.
That's how I'm looking at it.
I mean, that could be that whole little mini grand trine.
Yeah.
Because that's what Uranus's breakthroughs. You just have to look, like you said, at the positive side of all the changes that are coming in. Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid of AI, because AI is going to go through the roof. It's coming, especially with Uranus and Gemini.
Yeah, and they're not going to just shut it down. However, I agree with Elon Musk. It does need a kill switch somewhere embedded in the software if it does become self-aware. They did a test with a drone, and a pilot was piloting the drone, but the drone had AI technology, and the drone was told it had a lot of targets out there and some non-targets. Told the drone to take out the targets to get the most points. Well, the drone went for this target, and the pilot said, no, that's not a target. Okay, so the drone went and took out this other actual target. Okay, cool. And then it went for another non-target, and the operator said, no, that's not a target. Well, then the drone came and attacked the operator because the operator was interfering with its main goal to get the most points. So they're going to need to be careful and really figure out how this stuff works, because, I mean, that makes sense. If something is keeping you from getting the most points when that is your order, what are you going to do? You're going to take out what's keeping you from making the most points.
That's right.
And that happened to be the operator.
That's crazy.
I don't think he got taken out, but especially in military wise like that, I mean, it's got to be studied in great detail.
Well, I think the technology, because I'm going to do a show a week from Wednesday. I did the chart on the drones up in New Jersey. And that chart is as clear and as plain as day. I did an event chart for forensic astrology on the drones in New Jersey.
Yeah.
It is as clear as I've ever seen an event chart of who's doing it, who exactly knows about it.
Our government.
It's all, Uranus was sitting on the 12th, right at the bottom, almost near the ascendant in the 12th house, which the drones would be Uranus, 12th house. What is hidden by who? 3-letter agency.
Mm-hmm. Does it start with a C?
Opposing the president. And I thought, why is this opposing the president? And then a Wall Street Journal article came out today that they knew that leak from the 2020, when we had the 2020 illnesses, they knew it came from a lab, but they kept all that information from Biden. Now, who is doing that? Who do they think they are to
Deep
keep
state.
that information from the president? So I thought, there you go. Who's ever running the drones, they're keeping this from the president because it's opposing the president.
Deep state.
Yep. Mars
It's
was involved in it. That means the military was
It's
involved.
not just a conspiracy theory.
No. It's
It
all
is
over the
real.
chart. It's all over the chart.
And the truth about it is coming out.
Oh, and it was up in Pluto. So it was up, the drones were connected to Pluto, which is Hiroshima stuff content. That's
Well-
what they were, that's what this was all about, Hiroshima stuff.
Reports were that they were looking for some kind of nuclear signature, radiation
were.
signature. There was a nuke that went missing in the United States several years ago. They never found it. There was another one that went missing out of Ukraine, I believe, and they don't know where that went. And then all of a sudden, we have all these drones, and this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time these types of drones have been used. Hell, they were flying around in Nebraska, 2019, 2018, and in 2017, in that general area. They were sighted in Nebraska. Nebraska has several missile silos in it.
See,
We have, SAC headquarters in Omaha. They've been seen in other places over the past several years. It just, the media didn't get it out. Not as many people had cell phones back then to see it and put it out. Now, everybody and the brothers got a camera on them 24/7.
and everybody was filming the drones.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to say, oh, those are from gas stations. What? Drones from gas stations? Are you an idiot? They don't. Gas stations don't sell drones, you idiot.
Well, not only that, these were the size of an SUV.
Right.
These are specifically designed to sniff out radiation signatures.
It's all over the chart.
Yeah.
You would not believe this chart. And I'm like, well, there we go. There's the answer. And they became awful quiet, didn't they?
Yeah. Are they even still there? I don't know. I haven't heard anything over the last several days. Nothing.
Well, they found some of the shipment that got lost because somebody pulled it up on the website because they have to report it to the website.
Okay.
They got a container off of a ship and it was empty.
Ah.
And it was nasty material.
Ah.
In New Jersey, in this area.
So
they were up looking for this, and then they found the container. And then all of a sudden it stopped.
Imagine that.
So why didn't they just tell people that? Hey, we're looking for some material that didn't come out, that it was empty, and a container was empty off of a ship.
Because they're still denying that anything went missing. Oh, no, that didn't happen. Hey, watch what we're doing over here while we do this.
Well, and they wonder why there's no trust.
That.
Because people clearly were filming it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. That chart is so interesting. But going into January, look forward to the 20th with that Pluto Cazimi on the 20th. That's also Inauguration Day. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but that's a lot of information coming out unearthed. It's just a lot of shifting. We're going to start shift. We're starting to shift now.
Yeah, we are.
Uranus is stationing to go direct. And you got to remember, these outer planets are at high degrees.
That's the end of the cycle.
Yeah, in astrology, they go from 0 to 30 degrees. When they're moving and they get up to like 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, they're very strong.
Yeah, that's the end of a cycle. This
That's
is
right.
ending.
So,
But then you get a new beginning.
and then you get the beginning. So get through the end of the cycle, and like Uranus is stationing direct now to go direct. It's in retrograde. So there's 3 freaking airplane crashes. Go figure. Unexpected. The unexpected.
Then we need to look at why they crashed.
I could pull each one up separately and tell you why. It's all in there.
Well, anything that happens right now, we need to look at the why.
Yeah.
Why did those tornadoes happen? Why did the airplanes crash? Why this? Why that?
Because
Again,
it's distracting.
why is this happening to me at this time? What is this teaching me? What is all this teaching us? Pay attention to your surroundings and what's going on with you,
right,
and what's around you. Because if you hear some weird noises and, maybe explosions, what have you, you need to look around, maybe up, to see where that's coming from, because that airplane might be coming right for you. So you need to get the hell out of the way.
Right. Be alert. And, just a little heads up on
Train tracks. I'm supposed to say be careful around train tracks.
Uranus is square in Venus. That's trains. So around New Year's Eve, Mars and Pluto, they're in opposition, which we have dealt with all year.
Yeah.
Both of Trump's attempts were Mars opposing Pluto.
Mm-hmm. And Algol right there.
Algol was the protector for him.
Yes.
So Mars Pluto comes exact, yes, I think on the 2nd. It's very strong tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Just if you're going to go out,
be careful.
Be careful.
Pay attention.
Don't have to fear it. Just pay attention to your surroundings. If something feels off,
get out.
Get out. Get out.
Have a ride.
Yes.
Watch out for violent people wherever you go. Stay away from those people. It's actually easy to spot them. If you go to the bar, celebrate, whatever, it's actually easy to spot those people. But
yeah,
if you're not feeling right, midnight, hey, Happy New Year. Okay, let's go home. Don't stay till 1 or 2 or 3.
If it's 11 and you feel something's weird,
call an Uber, call a taxi. If you've had too much, just please be careful.
We've got one more pass on this Mars Pluto, and then we're done with that.
Yeah.
Thank God. And that thing's been activated and triggered. It hit around the election time. It's been a thorn.
Yes.
And it's just one of those transits that things can happen very quickly and spiral very quickly when Mars is. Luckily, Mars is in retrograde right now. So
maybe things will be reversed and good things will happen tomorrow night.
Sure.
I don't know, but just pay attention.
Pay attention.
Gail, I do actually think something will come out of that. Trump's already said that he's going to declassify the Kennedy files, the assassination files. I said a bad word for YouTube. Oops, my bad. There's some other things. The list. We're going to get a lot of information, and a lot of people are going to be very shocked at who is named. And I'll bet LBJ. I bet those 3 initials come out on the Kennedy files. I'm just saying.
Oh, but I think Bush's name's going to come out.
9/11.
I think Dad, because Dad, when JFK was president, Dad Bush was head of the CIA.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure he had something to do with it also, but I'm about 100% positive that LBJ was head of it.
Oh yeah, he knew. Of course he did.
LBJ was a Democrat, but he wanted to bring back the silver standard and not print fiat cash out of the Federal Reserve, and they took him out. Well,
what happened to Reagan too?
Yeah, Trump wants to go back to the gold standard, like Putin did and other countries have. And what they tried to do, they tried to take him out. However, he was protected divinely, in my opinion.
That there's no other opinion about it after looking at that chart.
Thanks, Susan. Yeah.
There's no other one.
Yes.
But just be careful tomorrow night. Just be aware of your surroundings. It's going to be a rock and rolling year. We'll get through it. Every 2 weeks, we'll talk about what's coming up like we did in 2020.
Yeah. We will help you get through this.
We did it with lockdowns. We kind of knew when those were even easing up, remember?
Yes. Yeah. We called it. We saw it. Agree. Welcome to the show. I agree.
Yeah, that's going to be around January 15th. If we look at the astrology around January 15th.
Which is halfway through the month.
Yeah.
Just be kind.
Be kind. Be flexible.
I'm going to put that out. Attempt to be kind. Because
yeah,
I am a Scorpio Aries Sag, so I totally understand getting aggravated with people. But do your best to be kind to them. A lot of people who have been in the dark for a long time, and they are now starting to see the truths coming out, and they don't know how to handle it. And even if they have attacked you verbally in the past, which has happened to me a lot,
be kind.
Eventually they are going to come to you for help because they're going to realize that you actually know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's right.
And you were right the whole time. But they're going to need help in understanding how to handle that situation and how to accept that change. And I'm willing to help them if they're willing to learn. If they won't learn,
well, you have to come to the realization, and then because I didn't know anything in 2020, and then I started looking at the astrology, and the astrology wasn't saying what was going on and what we were being told. So it's such a betrayal that you go through. That's the word, betrayal. Mm-hmm. Because we were raised that we were the good country and we were this and that.
We have not been the good country.
No, we have not. And I went through it. I went through it because I told my friend, he's like, you're gonna have to do this or that. So
it is about time to head off of here, as Howie reminded me. I lost track of time.
Oh, okay.
So thank you, everybody.
All right.
For jumping on and listen to us banter and rant and rave and all this other cool and groovy stuff.
We got until March before things get a little bit squirrely.
Yes.
So
we got to watch time. We're getting more shows coming on the R.I.F.T Nation Network.
Yeah, we got to watch our time more.
The Freaking Awesome Show and some other ones. So go check them out. And so we only get so much time.
Yeah.
So we got to kind of watch
our time.
Yes, we do. So on that note, Joni, thank you very much.
Thank you guys
for joining in, and you all have a good evening. We'll see you.
Happy New Year.
I will be on next week on Monday, and I'm forgetting who my guest is. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I'll be on next week.
Okay.
All right. Night.
Good night, everybody.